Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down big ideas. Today, we are tackling a 2,000-year-old leadership puzzle, one with some serious lessons for all of us, even now. Okay, let's dive right in.
So let's start with our historical puzzle. Imagine this. You've got two men fighting to rule all of China. On one side, there's Xiang Yu. He's an aristocratic prodigy, a military genius who literally never lost a battle. Well, until his very last one. And on the other side, Liu Bang, a guy born a peasant, a pretty average official with, let's be honest, average talent. So how on earth did the mighty Xiang Yu lose everything to the seemingly unexceptional Liu Bang?
To get to the bottom of this mystery, we've got to turn to an ancient clue. It's just a single sentence, but it's from one of the greatest strategists in all of human history, Sun Tzu. And there it is. This line, written more than 2,000 years ago, holds the key. What it tells us is that the relationship between a leader and their key people, well, it's everything. But, Sun Tzu uses a really specific word for support. What did he actually mean by that? Well, the answer is hiding in a brilliant metaphor, one that anyone back in ancient China would have gotten in a heartbeat, the war chariot. Let's break down what that means. And this is the really cool part. The specific character Sun Tzu uses for support is fu, or fu. Now, this doesn't just mean help in some vague general sense. No, it literally refers to the wooden braces that were bolted to the sides of a chariot wheel. Think about it. They aren't actually part of the wheel, but without them, that wheel would absolutely shatter under pressure. This one character is an incredibly powerful metaphor. So this just brilliantly illustrates the two outcomes Sun Tzu is talking about. When the supports have a tight fit, meaning the leader and their general are in perfect sync, totally bound by trust, the whole state is like a strong chariot, ready to go anywhere. But if there are gaps, distrust, suspicion, bad communication, the whole machine gets wobbly and weak, and it's pretty much destined to fall apart. Okay, so now that we have this powerful metaphor in our heads, let's apply it to our historical mystery. You're about to see how it perfectly explains the fates of Liu Bang and Xiang Yu. Get this is Liu Bang talking after he became emperor, and it's just an incredible admission. He is openly saying, hey, I'm not the best strategist, I'm not the best administrator, and I'm definitely not the best general. The man knew his own limitations. And that right there is the key takeaway. Liu Bang's genius wasn't in being the best at everything himself. It was in his ability to find, empower, and completely trust other geniuses. These three men were his supports, and you better believe he made sure that fit was perfectly tight. He gave them the authority and the trust they needed, and in doing so, he built an unstoppable war machine. Now, let's flip the coin and look at Xiang Yu. I mean, this guy was surrounded by talent. He even had the master general Han Xin on his side at the very beginning. But Xiang Yu's arrogance and his suspicion drove them all away, one by one, creating these huge gaps in his own support structure. And the most tragic, most telling example of this was his relationship with his chief strategist, Fan Zeng. This was a man he respected so much, he actually called him his second father. But this is exactly where that fatal gap, the Fuxi, appeared and completely broke his campaign. This timeline just lays it all out. You can see exactly how that gap formed. First, Xiang Yu ignores Fan Zeng's critical advice to get rid of his rival when he had the chance. Then, he lets a simple enemy trick plant seeds of suspicion against his most loyal advisor. The trust was shattered. That crucial support came loose, and Fan Zeng, his most important strategic mind, just left in disgust. And right then, the chariot began to wobble. So, the mystery is solved. It was never a gut who was the better warrior. See, victory isn't decided by one person's individual brilliance. It's all about the strength of the bonds a leader can forge with their team. When you lay it all out like this, the picture becomes crystal clear, doesn't it? Liu Bang understood, and he mastered the principle of the tight fit. He built this powerful, unified machine that ran on trust. Meanwhile, Xiang Yu's arrogance and his paranoia created a fatal gap, and his unbelievably powerful war chariot, it just fell apart. So, the big question is, why does this ancient story about warlords and chariots still hit so hard today? Let's take this lesson and pull it right into our world. The great Tang Emperor Taizong said it best. History is a mirror, and it reflects these timeless truths. The whole dynamic between Liu Bang and Xiang Yu isn't just some old war story. It is a foundational, core lesson in leadership. And that is the universal lesson right there. It doesn't matter if you're a CEO, a project manager, or the captain of a local sports team. The foundation of any strong organization is always the same. It's the ability to select, to trust, and to fully empower your key people. And that really leaves us with a final thought to take away. I want you to look at your own team, your own company, your own projects. Are you building a strong chariot with a tight fit, empowering everyone around you to achieve greatness? Or are you, maybe through a little ego or insecurity, letting gaps of mistrust start to form that could ultimately lead to failure? The answer to that question might just determine your own rise or fall.